Hey everyone, in this tutorial what we're going to be taking a look at is how to take your models, your prop models in FBX or OBJ format and bring them into iClone with blend shapes in order to use the real-time puppet tools in iClone to morph them in real time in your scene. Okay, now you can feel free to go ahead and use OBJ or FBX format for this procedure. 3DXchange will support them both. I have my original model loaded up here in ZBrush here. And if you want to create some layers in or some blend shapes in ZBrush, it's a pretty easy procedure. You can just go over to the layers on the right here and just create a new layer. And you'll see it'll come up with a new layer with full value. And it's recording the changes here. So I can just go ahead and make any changes that I'd like here. Maybe, for example, I'll choose a different stroke here, a freehand stroke. We can kind of maybe increase this Z intensity a little bit there. And maybe just draw a line directly up his nose here. We're going to give him an exaggerated nose ridge. You can see I have my mirror tool on, so it'll do the same thing for each individual side. And there you go. If I scroll around, you can see I've kind of popped out the nose there a little bit. Not the straightest line in the world, but no worries. I'm just showing you an example here. And you can see now if I click the recording off on this layer and I bring the values back down, that nose will return to its original shape. Alright, so that's about as easy as it gets to create a blend shape in ZBrush. You can go ahead and create a new one as well. If you want to do that, it'll have the same procedure. I can just maybe use a different alpha here. We'll use something like this one here, and we'll use a different stroke as well. We'll go for this one. We'll do something cool. We'll go into the eye here, and maybe right in the middle of the eye, we'll create a kind of a pop out little design there. There you go. Alright, so you can kind of zoom around, so see it's the same for all the individual eyes. And of course, same procedure, you can turn off the recording. And for this one, if you go negative values, you can actually see it'll sink into the eye as well. So you can get a pretty cool effect using the motion puppet tool in iClone. So that's how you create the individual blend shapes in ZBrush. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Maya and show you the blend shapes in Maya. We're going to use individual FBX import for this tutorial. We're going to import each individual blend shape as its own FBX and add those into 3DXchange later in the morph list. So you can see right here I have my Maya model loaded up here, and this is an FBX of a funky looking, scary looking alien head here. And I'm going to open up the blend shapes here and show you the blend shapes for now. Animation editors, animation editors, we'll go to blend shapes. You can see here I have my list of blend shapes. There's the squish blend shape right there. This one's shutting the eyes, and this one is just opening the eyes wide, exaggerating them. And this is the default pose right here. So what I'm going to do is essentially, I want to export those via FBX format, and then I want to import them into 3DXchange. So I already have them actually exported individually, so I'm going to go into the folder here, my ZArt folder. You can see I have ZArt, and all the different blend shapes here are appropriately named. So what I want to do is first take this ZArt, and I want to import it into 3DXchange. So we'll go into 3DXchange here, and import that in. And what we need to do in order to assign this prop with different blend shapes, like a character would have, is we need to characterize this prop. Unfortunately, right now it doesn't have a bone structure, so what we need to do is go into iClone and give it a bone structure. So I'm going to select Export, and we're going to select, we're just going to name this ZArt and save it to the desktop here. Alright, and now once it's in the desktop, I can just go down to my desktop here. You can see the ZArt.iprop. I can just click and drag that, we'll bring it in directly into iClone here. So once it's in iClone, what I need to do is I need to actually bring a bone structure, my bone structure in. So I'm going to go to the folder here. I'm going to go to my dummy bone folder. This iProp dummy bone is included with our learning resource pack here. So I'm just going to click and drag that into iClone here. And there we go. Okay, so that's all set up there. And now what I want to do is I want to actually take the, you can see the root node here in the dummy bone. I want to take the root node and I want to attach this to the bone structure. So I'm going to select Pick Parent and select my dummy bone in the Scene Manager here. And then what I want to do is select my dummy bone and just merge the two props together. So now they're a single prop. I'm going to add this to my press the Add button in the Content Manager here. And I'm going to call this, we can just call it Funky Eye or something like that. Alright, so we have our funky eye here. And now what I want to do is I want to take this eye prop with the bone structure and I want to bring it into 3DXchange. So I can actually click and drag it directly from the content manager here. We'll go into 3DXchange, import that in, it'll replace the previous model. Alright, so now we have the, you can see the bone structure and the scene tree. You can see all the dummy bones here that we don't really need, but we need those in order to characterize our prop here. So you can see the head and the cylinder, that's where they are on the scene manager here. And for the cylinder, we don't really need it to appear, we don't really want it to appear actually, so we can just actually select that, go down to the material settings here, and we'll just switch the opacity down to 0, so we don't have to see that any longer. Right, and then the next step we want to do is I want to add in those blend shapes in the morph list here. So I'm going to select add, and I'm going to control select all of my blend shapes here in FBX format. These can also be in OBJ format as well, so keep that in mind. And press OK. And those will appear in my morph list in just a moment. And there we go. You can see all the different blend shapes have appeared. And the expression editor right now is disabled because we haven't characterized our prop yet. This is just a workaround that we need to characterize the prop. So what I'll do is convert to non-standard. Once I do that, you'll see the bone hierarchy appear. This is a My Human IK bone hierarchy. So I can map this in a single click by going into the presets and selecting My Human IK, and then selecting the active checkbox. And that's pretty much all we need to do to characterize it. We don't need to work on too much else other than that. And just press convert. And now the expression editor is available along with all those morph shapes, or all those blend shapes rather. So I'm going to go into the expression editor, and you can see in the custom tab here, I'm going to set a puppet profile here. So for the custom group 1, I'm going to select an upward motion. In the upward motion, I'm going to choose exaggerate, or I'm going to choose the awake head here. You can see that's the one with the wide eyes there. Right, and I have auto apply set on here, so I don't need to press the set key after each thumbnail. And for the right, I'll just select the default head, and then downward will be the eyes shut there. And we just drag those sliders all the way up to 100. And left, let's do the splat for left. Alright, and that's pretty much all we need to do for that custom profile. And we'll close that down. And now all we need to do is apply it to iClone. So I'm going to select apply to iClone here. And you can see now that it's classified as an avatar, whereas previously it was classified as a prop. So I'll just delete the prop, we don't need that right now. I'll select my avatar dummy bone here. And you can of course rename it at your own leisure there. I'm going to go to the animation tab and facial animation, and we're going to use our puppet tools. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this so you can see it better. And what I want to do is I selected or actually created a custom profile here, and that was under number 1. So in 3DX custom profile, I'm going to select the number 1, and we'll just preview that. Press space. So you can see if I go up, there's my awake morph blend shape here, and to the right is the default, and I can go down to make him blink. So down was the eye shut. If I want my little alien dude to blink, you can do that. And then if he's going to splat, boom, just splat him on the ground like that. Alright, so we can fool around with that. You can see here, just maybe rotate it around actually. There you go, so you get a better idea. Alright, and we'll just record this. So for example, if I wanted to record, he's awake, and then kind of sleepy, it's blinking, and then awake again, and then all of a sudden, splat onto the ground. Oh, that wasn't a good one. We'll try that again. So you can press Ctrl-Z and try it again at your own leisure. Remember to go back to frame 1 when you do. Just record that. There we go. So he's waking up. Oh. Kind of blinking his eyes all of a sudden, and then splat. There we go. That was a better splat. Alright, so that's basically how you can take your props, your models with blend shapes and bring them into iClone for use with the real-time puppet tool. Alright, so have fun, enjoy creating your own props and customizing all your own different blend shapes. It's a lot of fun to puppet them in real time, so hopefully you enjoy that.